All right. Howdy, howdy, folks. Let me see. Yeah, it seems to be working. We seem to be live. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome to a long overdue IronVerse interview. I'm your host, Cody Fernandez of IronVerse Comics, and I am joined by the ever incredible Brett McGowan of MythoVerse. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself, Brett, and kind of tell some folks a little bit about what you are, who you are, what you do, all those fun things?
Oh, yeah. Hey, I am Brett McGowan, and I am one of the founders of the MythoVerse. My position over there is mainly handling PR and community outreach. Uh, but I am also the writer and creator of one of the pillar titles, Changeling and Urban Fairy Tale.
Oh, ho. So, for folks who are unfamiliar with MythoVerse Comics, you want to give a little bit of a rundown, maybe a little bit of the origin, a little bit of what you folks strive to create, maybe a little bit about the titles over there at MythoVerse?
Well, as far as the origin goes, the guy hosting me is he bears responsibility for kind of being the catalyst for it happening.
You lie. No, it's a little bit. Just a little bit. Uh,
All right, so to kind of get you guys caught up on up to speed, there was uh, years ago, Cody found himself in Twitter DM jail because he was talking with people in DM so much. Twitter, I guess, flagged him as a bot or something.
yeah, I was a little bit more of a chatty Cathy back when I had more to say. That hasn't happened for quite some time, so either they changed the rules or I got a little quieter. Probably a little bit of both.
Yeah. So just to give, so because Cody couldn't talk to people in DMs, one of our other founders, Dan, he set up a Slack channel for Cody and other people that were in our friend group at the time, trying to hang out so that Cody had a place to talk to people that was still private, at least until the DM ban got lifted on him. Well, Matt, Dan, and I were all in that Slack channel, and we started exchanging ideas. I think we were us and us and one other guy, a mutual friend named Tank. We were the only ones who still hung out in that Slack channel, and we started exchanging ideas between. And Matt, Dan, and I found out that without really meaning to, we had come up with three urban fantasy titles that could fit pretty well together, and we decided, hey, why don't we just put them in a single shared universe and see what happens? Rest. Then we had a Kickstarter to launch all three books. It was successful, and the rest is history.
Oh, there you go. Um, if you want to, and I'd kind of like to hear, would you explain what those first three titles were and kind of some of the premises? Because I believe all of those titles are available on this Kickstarter that's up on screen right now.
Yep. So there were. So mine was Changeling an Urban Fairy Tale, which was the young adult book, and was about a teenage girl named Maeve Mackenzie who finds out that she is in fact not human. She is a changeling, and that is kind of basically thrown her whole life into whack. And now the comic is her figuring out how to deal with that because as a teenager you've got identity issues. You're you're starting to deal with more complex emotions since your body's changing, all those fun things that come with puberty. So, yeah. Oh, and she also comes from a Christian household, so that's got to be fun too.
Indeed. So, for folks who are unfamiliar, what is a changeling?
In British Isles folklore, it is a fairy that is swapped with a human baby, and the reason why can be any. There's that's the short version.
That'll work. Um, what inspired you to write a coming of age urban fantasy story?
Well, when I started getting involved in at least our circle, our corner of comics Twitter, I kind of noticed there's not really anyone trying to make a make a book that appeals to young people. Like a lot of the guys were kind of content to sort of play to the 20 to 30 something year old man, which hey, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just that it's just that I felt I felt like that was I felt like that was an angle I could come out to help me stand out. Plus, I had a lot of experiences growing up in the church, being a pastor's kid that I could draw from, and mostly I just wanted to mostly just kind of wanted to get a comic out that I could actually put my name on, which was a dream I had since I was a teenager.
Well, one that you have achieved now. How many issues are out for Changeling, and what can they get from Changeling on this campaign here?
First two issues, the first two issues are out, and on the Kickstarter we get, and on the first two Kickstarters we get that, yeah, on this Kickstarter you for the Changeling Omnibus, you get the first two issues plus some specially made Patreon comics that tie into it, as well as some specially selected MythoChibi strips.
Oh, excellent. Right on, right on. Um, on to the other two titles. Do you want to talk a little bit about Adobe Kroger, Dane Commander?
Yeah, Dobie Kroger is about a woman who is a modern day paladin, and not a D&D paladin. I am talking Knight of Holy Roman Emperor Charlemagne paladin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so, what what does that mean? Like, what could a reader expect in her adventures?
So Adobe belong has recently been initiated into the Order of the Carolingian Cross, which is a holy order uh, that are basically like the modern day descendants, the modern day version of the paladins of Charlemagne. And their job is to protect humanity from various supernatural threats, and that's just what she deals with, as
Okay.
well as dealing with her own past trauma and psychological issues.
Okay. Looks like there are also two issues of Adobe Kroger in
Yep.
its bundle. Let me see. Physical Changeling, Physical Bundle, Print Deluxe. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. It's out there. It's Physical Adobe Kroger. Yes, yes, indeed. So I'm assuming it's those two comics as well as maybe not the same bonus content, but similar bonus content to what they would get with the Changeling Omnibus.
Yeah, there was one there was one Patreon comic that was made as a tie-in one shot for Adobe Kroger, and there are also some carefully selected MythoChibi strips.
Excellent. And the third out of, I believe there's four titles in this campaign. We'll talk about Mythics now. So, could you give a little overview of Mythics and what folks can expect with that title?
So Mythics is a story of Althea Fletcher, who is a member of the Mythic Order, who are basically the modern day descendants of the cunning folk from the British Isles. And they are like the paladins in Adobe Kroger, except they come at it from a more, I guess you could say, nuanced perspective. Whereas the paladins kind of basically treat every problem like a nail that needs to be hammered down. The mythics, they try and they recognize that there is a threat with the supernatural, but they also acknowledge that it's part of the world, and it's best if that there's a balance. They try to basically maintain a balance between the two worlds, which is why I say they have a more nuanced approach to it as opposed to the paladins.
Right. Um, let's see. It's the same. It's the first two issues. It looks like there was also some other one-shot looking mythics books. Yeah, this Irene, Redo, and Maria.
Yep, yep.
Okay.
Like I said, it's first two issues, some Patreon one shots, and some MythoChibi strips, just like before.
Excellent. All right. And then the final title, Triple Crown. Can you introduce folks to that?
So, Triple Crown is the story of Skip Sparks, who is an up and coming F1 racer. And when she was a kid, her dad got into an accident during his last race, and he didn't die, but he was left crippled, so his career was basically over. And she's trying to go on to win the Triple Crown title, which involves winning the Indy 500, the Monaco Grand Prix, and the first 24 hours of Le Mans, which are the three biggest F1 races in the world. And she's trying to win the Triple Crown title so that she can finish her dad's dream, because that's what he wanted to do. And if anyone's waiting for the other shoe to drop on what the catch is, there isn't one. It is a straightforward racing manga that exists within the MythoVerse, but it's the unique outlier because it has no fantasy elements in it whatsoever.
Ah, interesting. It looks like if you go that route, folks can get issues 1, 2, 3, some bonus comics, and of course selected MythoChibis, which is very, very cool.
Yep.
This is your year 5 anniversary Kickstarter, it looks like.
Yep.
Do you want to talk a little bit of how it's been collaborating with so many different teams under an imprint for the last half decade?
Been it's been wild.
There you go.
It's been challenging,
Uh,
and it's also been extremely rewarding because I mean, if Changeling was all I ever managed to accomplish, I would have been fine with that. I would have been happy. But just to see that it's managed to grow into, that's managed to become part of something larger than itself, like that's actually been a very rewarding experience for me.
one of my favorite parts, particularly going the imprint route, when you're working with so many different teams, is working with so many wonderful artists. Do you want to talk about some of the artists you've worked with and your experiences there, and maybe what you like about their art, and kind of just a little bit of the vibe on how that collaboration happens and works? Because I'm always interested, and I'm sure anybody who checks this out will be a little curious, because of course you folks have worked with some wonderful talents over the years, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'd love to hear about it.
Honestly, it's just like everyone kind of. How do I put? I think the best way I can word this is I think it was in a Lion King documentary. There were some guys like talking about how it was like making the movie was like making this pot of stew, and how everybody sort of a, added their own ingredients to it, and the final result came out to be something that none of them could have done on their own. I That's kind of I think that's a good way of putting it for me, is that everybody comes in with their own ideas of what to bring to the mythoverse, and so it ends up becoming something that you would not have been able to see any one of us be able to pull off by ourselves. And cause like like we've worked with cool people like Dylan Fagan, Forrester, Stern Neville Salem, so many people whom are still with us right now, still working. I mean, if you're following our Patreon, I've been uploading pages from Neville's upcoming comic, Airwaves. You can see work in progress for all those on the Patreon right now. I don't know if you join it.
All right.
It's a plug.
Yeah, no, that's fine. This is honestly, I'm just trying to put a happy little face on top of this, but that's exactly, that's why we're here. This campaign has 5 days left at the moment. As a Kickstarter, I don't think there is a extension option. There might be. I don't know how this works. So
If there is, I'm not aware of it. But
yeah,
yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, Matt, this is kind of the first campaign Matt and I've been running without Dan, so this is kind of us sort of finding out that maybe we're not as invincible as we thought we were, and not only that there are some things we need to do better.
that's always how it goes. I mean, believe it
So
or
if
not,
anyone,
over here on my end, we are 4-3, three successful campaigns, four unsuccessful. So out of 7 campaigns I've ran, I've lost more than I've won. So I know how that goes. And crowdfunding is a heck of a thing. Sometimes you hit right at the right time, you find the right communication. Sometimes you don't. You never know. But I definitely recommend folks come and check this out, because it is an incredible group of folks who have, again, for the past half decade, been putting out unique works you're not going to find anywhere else, with a pride and a joy in creation that's just been a wonder to share in and to support, at least on my end.
and if anyone wants to know if this campaign doesn't make it, well, I mean, it doesn't make it. We won't. We're not going to call it quits. We'll just pick ourselves back up, take a long, hard look at what we did, and try to do better for next time.
That's all you can do. Now, with 5 days and a little under 2/3 of your goal to go, there is most definitely still quite a bit of time for folks to get in on this and to actually push it through the algorithm and get more eyes on this. And that's what we're trying to do here tonight, if possible. I believe folks can also, if you're unsure by the campaign, if you're unsold by the campaign page, I believe MythoVerse is also available to read over on Global Comics. Am I correct?
Yep. All we got Changelings there, Adobe Kroger's there, Mythics is there, Triple Crown's there, Mythochibis is there.
Well, there you
So
go.
it's all there.
So you can just
all there for those who want to see.
exactly. And so for me, particularly when I was reaching new eyes, having the ability to actually show the talent and the work to new potential viewers has always been something I've appreciated being able to do. And myself as a crowdfunding backer, I always like knowing more about what I'm going into. In fact, I tend not to back campaigns that I don't already know something quite solid about, whether it's, I like this creator and it's a new work for them, or I've seen a page of it or whatever. Now I want to go see what the writing's like if I want to support that, because I have backed books that look great and read terribly. So you never know with this. Now for me, I believe I have on this channel, I believe I've done a IronVerse quickie on at least all 3 of the first issues, aside from Triple Crown. And I went and, in fact, myself, I've backed for the Triple Crown omnibus here. So I'm really hoping I want my omnibus of Triple Crown because I'm far more likely to read these things physically. But if folks are curious of my thoughts on those titles, you're welcome to check out the channel as well. It's just type in the MythoVerse there, and it will come up, all three of those. I believe I may have even done follow-ups on Adobe Kroger at the very least. But it's been a while. I haven't done an IronVerse Quickie for a while. But they're on the channel, so if you want my more precise thoughts on these works, which I do very much appreciate and have always enjoyed. Yeah, so as you said, if this doesn't fund, pick yourselves back up, is there a plan to hop right back into crowdfunding, or are you going to take a bit, figure out a different step, or are you ready to be surprised and to fund and get it on out the door? Because I'm assuming, and in fact I am pretty dang sure that most of all the content that would be in these perks is complete. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That was part of also why we did this, was so that Matt could basically hit the ground running when it came to fulfillment, because Matt's closer to our printer than any of us are, so he's going to be handling that.
Got it.
That's our turnaround time should. So if we do fund, our turnaround time should be very short, provided nothing goes wrong on the printer's end.
Which is always a possibility, no question. I've been through that plenty of times. But that's great. I always, though I love supporting projects that, are in process and actually need the funding to complete the work, it is so much more comfortable to be able to order a completed project. And that's exactly what folks would be getting here, except for, of course, it's, you got to wait for the books to be printed. But all the art, the interiors, all of that is good, up and running. It looks like there may be a new cover for Triple Crown.
Yes, we did. Yeah, that was kind of a. We were supposed to. We had planned on posting the omnibus cover for Triple Crown, but due to time, the artist Rosalind Summers, she just it was kind of more just bad timing, than anything. But she is working on it right now as we speak. I've seen the work in progress from her, and it's coming along good.
Killer. So that's about it, folks, that you would be waiting on if it does fund. Let me see here. So in the tiers here, of course, we have, so I backed the physical Triple Crown, so that's up on top here. But of course, you can throw $1 their way just as a support, and you'll get yourselves a digital thank you card, which is wonderful. You can get a digital bundle for $15. So would the digital omnibus bundle just include everything?
Sorry, repeat that.
Would the digital omnibus bundle just include all of the comics and all of the content?
Yeah, it would.
So that's that's got to be a couple hundred pages, yeah.
Several hundred.
So that's crazy for $15, folks. So that's a great deal, especially if you're a digital reader. I know for sure that the colors within Changeling will pop like crazy on your device. It's a very pretty book. You can go the digital deluxe bundle, which would also include a little bit of extra stuff, which is at least a exclusive desktop wallpaper, and you'd get your personalized thank you. So that's only $3 more, and you can get a little extra on top. That's very cool. It looks like for each of the titles you have a physical pack, which is $30. So of course the Mythics title, the Adobe Kroger, I got Triple Crown, and the Changeling. Similar, the digitals are of the title they ordered, I'm assuming.
I think so.
Yeah, that would be included. Gotcha. The physical bundle, I'm guessing, is all 4 titles. Yep, plus a thank you. That's very cool. Print Deluxe. So that includes a new pinup. from
Yeah.
Forrester. Very cool. Is that pinup somewhere visible? Can I show folks that?
Uh, I did. I did not I did not include that. Sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. Um, let's see here. Print deluxe. We have a Save Sasha tier. So tell us about this tier because I did see some talk about it as it was going. So kind of explain what's going on.
So in the month leading up to the launch, just to just to entice people to sign up. Uh, I made a tweet that as a shit post, if we don't get this many number of signups by the end of the week, Maeve's mom will cease to exist.
Okay.
Well, we didn't, and so I decided to follow through on that threat and just ran with the bit that she's been erased from the comics. And Rubbish even took it one step further and edited a bunch of changeling pages just so that it's like she was never there.
Very fun. Very, very, very fun.
Yep.
Want to
And
thank
so
Kish Cumin. Thank you so much for stopping by, Scott. Appreciate it. Eliza Bar's here. Thank you so much. He says he knows these guys, and I should ask you what your favorite BattleTech faction is.
I know how he's gonna react. 'Cause I'm gonna Torians.
Oh, there you go. See, I am not down with the BattleTech lore, so I can't comment. It's a corner of nerd culture that I have not really touched.
I'm gonna send you a video.
Alrighty. But there you go, Lice Bar. It is the Torians. So there you go. Looks like this Save Sasha tier includes absolutely everything, plus a campaign print by Rubbish Raccoon and Xenolith, plus one more. What is the one more? Let me see here.
Oh yeah, there's also a short comic that Rubbish and Xeno are working on.
Killer. Oh, that's what it is. Yes, indeed. Freaking Torians. Can't trust those nuclear savages. They'll blow themselves up just to avoid paying the phone bill. All right.
He's just salty that I don't vibe with the inner sphere.
Well, there you go. Let's see here. So, I would love to get you folks back on at some point. I'd love to get Matt and I'd love to get Dan as well, but I know he is a busy man. On again here relatively soon, particularly when you folks know, if there is a wonderful success, I'd love to hear from you folks afterwards. Or if you folks come up with, a plan B or a redo, I'd love to do that. It's been a while since I've hosted or done anything about, crowdfunding. So if I'm a bit rusty tonight, folks, I do apologize.
Oh yeah, if anything like that, if any of those scenarios play out, we'll make sure you hear about it.
Right on. Is there anything else you'd like folks to know while you're here about this project? And, what they'll be supporting, why they should support, and what it kind of means to you folks and your teams?
Well, it's 5 years of us being able to live a dream that not a lot of people can say they have, and not only it's 4 different stories that are completely unique. I mean, shared urban fantasy universe, I'll admit that's not a unique idea, but I don't think anyone's doing it the way we are. So you are going to get something you will not find elsewhere. I don't know how we rank up against other other urban fantasy universes, but I don't think I've ever heard anyone call the MythoVerse generic or anything. Not only that, this is this Kickstarter, like, this is a thank you to everyone who's been in there with us from the first day. And it's also the perfect jumping on point for people who just heard about us. It's I mean, I won't say it's the pinnacle, because I don't think we've hit our peak yet. I think we're still working our way there, but if you guys have hung with us since 2019, or if you're now just coming along for the ride and you're willing to ride out with us, like, you're going to see something special. You're going to be part of something special.
I can echo those sentiments. It's been wonderful seeing what you folks have been able to do and produce over the years, the quality you've been able to put into it, the time, the effort, and the camaraderie as well. It's been wonderful to see. Indie comics, that's not always a thing. So I've been proud to support and appreciate the work that's come out of it over the years. I can promise other folks who happen to join in on that support will have a very similar experience. Looks like there are stretch goals. We can chat about those if you'd like. At 3,500, there are some chibi stickers. At yes, go for it.
Yeah, those are designed by Dylan.
Very cool. At 4K, there is some double-sided bookmarks by the wonderful Rubbish Raccoon. Very unique stuff. I like the looks of that. At 4,500, there are some trading cards by Forrester, who, by the way, what I've been noticing, his art has bounds and leaps improved since I last worked with him as well. He did a short one-page comic in issue 3 of Jack Irons, I believe, and
I remember that.
And his pinups in this are just leaps and bounds above that. Not that the work was bad or poor or anything before. It's just I love seeing artists improve, and that was a noticeable jump on these pinups. It's very cool to see. And then at 5K, you get this wonderful Avalon poster by Rubbish Raccoon, and then that is another incredible piece of art. That double page spread, beautifully done. Her coloring work's always incredible.
Oh yeah, like that is based off the the iconic double page spread from Changeling issue 2.
Very, very cool. Let's see. I don't know if there's any questions in chat. I'd love to entertain those. We already entertained the BattleTech question, but if you've got another one, let us know. Otherwise, again, are there any closing thoughts on the campaign, or any questions on my end? Anything to ask me? I am fully open at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, just yeah, I'm just kind of surprised we even got through 5 years. Like, I think I said this on Eliza Barr's stream that I'm waiting for the day where we are forced to close up shop, and it hasn't happened yet, and I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, it is no small accomplishment to survive in indie comics for this long, let alone, again, be continuously producing within that space. It's a crazy, crazy accomplishment. Anybody who's actually been through it would understand that quite well. I'd love to see more support for this. I will do what I can, of course, for these last few days, and keep in touch about what else is coming from you folks as it goes. Again, this is a wonderful set of projects. You can get so much beautiful independent artistry in this, and I greatly hope that you fun, because I want my triple crown. I want it. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Well,
yeah, we will see. But with that, I think I will be calling it. Appreciate anybody who checks us out now, checks it out in the next couple days. I'll be promoting the stream just so that there's a bit more, hopefully, some more eyes that can see this. I want to keep it a little bit digestible as well, so when folks hop in, it's not like, oh, I got to watch 3 hours of live stream. But it's been great having you. Thank you so much for stopping by, Brett. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
thanks for having me on, Cody.
I would say anytime, but I am not that consistent with this stuff. But I was wonderfully, I'm so glad I could make it happen. And hopefully, as things continue to move forward on my end, I will continue to open up spots for guests more and more. But I wasn't going to forget about you folks while you're out there continuing to make wonderful independent comics.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, no
That
worries.
means a lot.
Well, it means a lot to have again cool folks out there pouring their hearts and souls into books, fulfilling them, making wonderful art, supporting wonderful artists as well. Again, this is running a comic book imprint and running a comic book project are two very different things, and to be able to run an imprint for this long is very, very cool. It's a hell of an accomplishment that you folks have achieved, and this culmination of that work up to this point is something that deserves more support than it's seen so far. But who knows? It's not over till it's over. So anyway, thank you folks so much, and I will catch you on down that line. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Link in chat to check out this Kickstarter campaign for itself. If you want to read the books, I recommend checking out Global Comics and just typing in MythoVerse, and you will get a link to all those books, and you can read it and see if it's for you. If it is, please go and support it, because if it is for you, you should want more, and this is how you get that on moving. So please do that, and spread around, spread the stream, spread the links. They could most certainly use the help. And adios, folks.
Night.